Hi, everyone. We are joined by super middleweight contender Edgar Berlanga, who is getting ready to get back into the ring next month, February 24, live on DAZN against Patrick McCrory. Edgar, this is another step up for you as you look and continue your quest for a title at 168 pounds. Why was
So,
Patrick McCrory a perfect opponent for you to prove yourself again once more?
for me, I let my team handle that. They picked opponents, but they felt like, and then I seen him fight, and I seen his record. I seen that he's ranked high in one of the body sanctionings, for I think for the WBA or some. So, I think that's a pretty good fight, another step up fight for me as well. Great experience, that's gonna be shown February 24th.
Mm-hmm. Back-to-back fighters for you, fighting in boxers from the UK. Obviously, he's from the UK. Your opponent before that, Jason Quigley, who you dropped four times in a dominant decision win from Ireland. Uh, do the fighters from the UK bring something different to you that you've experienced so far in these fights?
Not necessarily, nah. I mean, they style, their styles is different, which
Mhm.
is it could be a little not it could be just a little bit tough to find sparring, but I feel like Patrick doesn't have that UK style. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he fights like a guy from the States. He likes to come to fight. They call him the Hammer, so I'm looking forward to a great fight. I think that he's gonna go out there and he's gonna show what he got. And obviously I'm gonna do my thing and do damage.
Mhm. You've firmly planted yourself in the top 10 rankings across the board in the 168-pound division. Of course, that is a division that is currently ruled by undisputed champion Canelo Alvarez. I know that that is a fight that essentially every 168 pounder wants to get. But what are the steps you hope to take in 2024 in order to further knock on the doors and be on the footsteps of a world title shot?
Yeah, I think right now, for real, we was already talking about it, me and my team, I gotta just perform my ass off this fight. I gotta really make a statement. I gotta do my thing this fight, like really look phenomenal. And I feel like with that right there should be a opener, for a fight with Canelo 2024. I know he has all the titles. I'm young. But one thing I have is, I have an island behind me. I got Puerto Rico. So I think it's just based off how I look my next fight, and we looking forward to dominating this dude, you know, beating him up, doing my thing, and eventually I feel like that'll open up doors for us 2024 with Canelo Alvarez.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. Your career seems to have been a tale of two chapters so far. You start off 16-0, all of those wins by dominant first round knockouts, and now the last five wins have all gone the distance. And you've had some shaky moments in those fights. What are you making of your performances as well too of the last five fights where they have gone the decision? Do you feel this fight needs to end in a knockout in order for you to further plant yourself back into the picture?
Like how we do it, what I'm saying? Like I don't like talking about a knockout, but I know I gotta dominate this fight. What I'm saying? Like I gotta really make a statement. I'm going in there and I'm not playing with this guy. I'm gonna go in there and handle business, like I always do, and look forward to the next step. People think that the first 16th round knockouts was a curse. And it actually was a blessing, what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. God gave me that gift to punch. It's not like I feel like people think I don't punch now. I still punch. You seen in my last fight, just Quigley was a tough, he was a tough competitor. He was a tough opponent. You know what I'm saying? You seen him when he fought Boo Boo, he got touched and he took a knee. He didn't even get up. This dude kept dropping and getting up, dropping and get up. So he wanted to prove himself against me. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, knockouts, 5 fights going the distance. It's all experience, man. I feel like I needed that. A lot of guys, they first 16 fights, they in between those first 16 fights, they'll probably have knockouts, but they also probably have gained a lot of experience. You get what I'm saying? So with me, my first 16 fights was straight first round knockouts. So I think for me and for my team, we all know that, it's blessings, man. Like my last 5 fights went the distance, but I caught so much experience, as a young fighter. And to compete with those elite fighters at that division at 168, you need that.
Yeah, that knockout power. It's like a blessing and a curse, right? When
Yeah,
you stop
especially
every.
for me, because like I was just knocking people out in the first round. So everybody, that was something that everybody's just on to, like, oh my God, when he's gonna knock this guy out, and it's like, fuck, he don't knock this guy out. This dude's a bum. This dude didn't knock him out. He's a bum. He knocked 16 people out in the first round. Why he's not knocking this guy out? Nah, yeah, he's a bum. So they don't really they don't start looking at, like, my skill set, or IQ or anything, on my style. They just look at the fact that, oh yeah, he ain't knock him out. Yeah, he's a bum.
Mhm. And obviously, it's important for a boxer to see a 10 rounds, see a 12 rounds, because eventually you're going to get there one of these fights. Well, you
Yeah.
have now, but eventually you don't want to be in that position in a big time fight where all of a sudden you're in unfamiliar
Yeah, that's what
waters.
I'm saying. So either way, like I did what I had to do my last fight. You know what I'm saying? Quigley was a tough, tough, tough guy. Like he went in there, like his fight against me was like I was his Canelo. You get what I'm saying? Like he knew that if he beat me, he was gonna get in the doors to get a big, big, big money fight and a big fight. So I know he was going in there. Then he had Andy Lee with him. You know what I'm saying? Which he hasn't worked with. Andy Lee was his first. How can I say, like, he just started working with Andy Lee. So I knew something was up. Like, all right, I know this dude's gonna come and he's gonna try to look for a way to win. I
Mhm.
know he's not gonna stand there and fight me, but I know he's gonna try to figure it out through what Andy Lee was telling him. You know what I'm saying? Like they had so much confidence that whole fight week. Like I was just laughing. I was like, this dude don't know I'm gonna put it on him. You know. But yeah, man, like I feel like every fighter that fights me comes different.
Mhm.
And
Well,
that's what everybody, you know what I'm saying? I feel like because they think, all right, I beat this guy, I'm in. Like it's over.
mhm.
Like I beat this guy, I'm inside the door now to fight a big fight.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you've definitely grown yourself to be a commodity in the sport with a big backing. Being in the New York community with the Puerto Rican audience, that is nothing to sneeze at. But all that said, with these last 5 fights, there's a lot of critics. There's a lot of people who seem to have opinions of who Edgar Berlanga really is as a fighter. What is your message to these critics that who you are, how you're developing, and what they could expect moving forward?
Um, it's funny, right? 90% of those guys that think that never boxed a day in their life. So for me, I don't give a damn what they think. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay my bills. They don't take care of my family. They don't do anything. They don't put food on my table. They're not paying for this big ass house here. So for me, I don't give a damn what they say. You know what I'm saying? All I'm focusing on myself, my family, and God. And I'm gonna continue to win, man. Like, God is on my side. I've been having a hell of a training camp. My body's just looking completely different. I'm feeling stronger than ever. And I'm just looking to dominate next month. This is about me now, you know what I'm saying? And fighting for my country, having Puerto Rico behind me, having, New York behind me, and just everybody that supports me.
Mm-hmm.
But for the critics out there, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, like these are guys that and girls that never boxed a day in their life that want to sit there and base their opinion on a fighter. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody that actually knows boxing, you know what I'm saying, would appreciate it and does appreciate a lot of the things that I do in the sport. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think you're promising a dominant win. And I think a dominant win would set up another great opportunity. I know January 27, we're going to see Jaime Munguia face John Ryder. Is the unofficial plan for you to get the winner of that fight?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight actually. I'm gonna be tuned in. Um, Shit, if I wasn't fighting, next month, I probably would have flew out there, and sent front row and just see what's going on, But that's also a big fight on the horizon for me is with Munguia. We was trying to make that fight happen, but the numbers just wasn't. But the numbers, obviously wasn't right. So between them and my team, we just backed off of it, and we just figured that, we'll just meet up in the future, 2024, 2025, whatever. But, you know, everything has to make sense. People just think that, oh, yo, you ducking this guy. You like never ducked nobody in my life, ever. And I feel like, just everything has to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that fight is one of the biggest fights in boxing that everybody wants to tune into. So I just feel like we should have a fair play with the money. You know what I'm saying? And we should be able to we should both be able to eat at the same time. You get what I'm saying? And not having the promoters or the TV, you know what I'm saying, the networks eating off all the or taking the whole bag. You get what I'm saying? So, it's just patience, man. I'm just taking one fight at a time. I'm definitely tuned into that fight. And hopefully that's a fight that we can make this year.
Do you see Jaime Munguia as a vulnerable fighter? Do you think he'll maybe even lose to John Ryder after what we saw in the fight with Deryevchenko?
I think that fight woke him up. I feel like his last two fights were suspect. I know that Deryevchenko was like super duper close, and then the fight before that was suspect too, right?
Mhm.
Who he fought his last fight before Sergey?
I'll have to look that up really quickly. I can't recall off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, if I'm not, if you know what I'm saying, you can mistake me, but I think that his last two fights was suspect, and then
He was
no,
actually he had a tune-up fight in Mexico, which he finished in 3 rounds. And the one before that was against Jimmy Kelly. Perhaps you're mentioning the Gabriel Rosado fight. I know that there was some moments where it was a little
yeah, yeah,
back and
yeah.
forth action there.
But that fight with Sergey, that's my stablemate. That was my ex stablemate too, and I thought he won that fight. If it wasn't for the drop in the 12th round, I feel like he would have pulled it off. But I feel like now, he has a chip on his shoulder. I know everybody's like on him, like, yo, this dude's gonna lose. This dude's gonna lose. So I feel like he went with Freddie Roach. I think that he's gonna come with something different. I know it's gonna be it's going to be a close fight because, John Ryder is a guy that comes forward. He likes to fight. He puts pressure, So, but I think that the better man tonight should be Munguia. I think he's young. I think he's still fresh. And I think he has a lot to prove.
Mhm. In my opinion, I think that is one of the more marketable, better selling fights that boxing could make. You versus Jaime Munguia, just that Mexico
Yeah,
versus Puerto Rico. I think two fighters who kind of defense goes out the door at a moment when it's a brawl. You just
yeah.
let the fist fly. Do you see yourself? We just saw Jaime with a fight of the year winner by many people against Deryevchenko. Do you think it'll be a fight of the year type of fight if you were to fight him?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I think, from the first round, and if it lasts, you know, um, I don't see that fight going a distance at all. Like if me and him fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the fight with him, I know I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and just, what I'm saying, and just do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no going back, ain't no running, ain't no trying to box, because that guy's coming to fight and I'm coming to fight too, and I know I got bricks in my hands for real. Like I know I really have bricks in my hands, so I'm not worried
Mm-hmm.
about it. But that's something exciting, man. Like I'm excited. I wanna make the fight happen. You know, hopefully we can make it happen this year for the fans, man. I know that that'll be something crazy for the sport of boxing.
You're in one of the hottest divisions of the sport. I mean, you could really it's pretty much pick your poison. Whoever you want to fight, it could be a big fight. Let's go through some of those names real quick. And let's start right at the top. I know you've been angling and in positioning yourself for a fight against Canelo Alvarez. Why do you think you're the perfect opponent for Canelo? And would you even consider a quick turnaround if Canelo said, "Hey, so let's do it Cinco de Mayo"?
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah. That'll be perfect because I'll just be coming off a win, a beautiful win. I just feel like, I gotta perform this next fight. I gotta really make a statement, so I can have his eyes open, like, oh, okay. Like he likes what he sees. You get what I'm saying? Because right now, he the boss at 168. He makes the move. He's the money man at 168. So he could do whatever he wants to do when he feels like it. And you can't take that away from him. He paid his dues to get to that point where he could pick and choose who he wants to fight. Um, I just feel like, I just like for me on my point, I gotta just make a statement next
Mm-hmm.
month. Like for real, like I gotta really like make a statement. and then call him out, and then be like,
Hmm.
yo, listen, like let's do it for the fans. Let's bring Puerto Rico, Mexico together. I don't think besides Benavidez, I don't think there's another bigger fight out there for him.
Yeah,
You know
he's
what I'm
really
saying? Like
clean.
I really think that, with Charlo is like, you got other guys out there I know who's at the 168, but they're like, you know what I'm saying? He already beat Caleb Plant. He already beat a lot of guys. So, like I said, the only fights that I feel like that could be made out there that'll be something big is either me or Benavidez.
Hmm. Yeah, he's cleaned out the division, and it's obvious that you have that respect for him. But he's also 33. He's been through a lot of wear and tear in recent years, and
Yeah.
it seems like the universal opinion is Canelo is past his prime and his best days are behind him. Do you feel that way? Do you feel we're seeing the back end of Canelo's career? Or do you still see him as one of the top fighters in the world?
Nah, he's still one of the top fighters in the world, 100%. Um, I think they was just saying it because of his last fight. He with Ryder and stuff, but shit happens, man. Like, sometimes you don't have a camp you wanted to have. And remember, he's done, like you said, he has a lot of wear and tear. Like, he's been in there fighting with the best for a very long time. He has 60 fights as a pro, and you can even include fighting in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? He's still in that ring fighting with no headgear. And he's been pro since like he was like 15, 16 years old or something. So, I think he's still one of the best guys right now in boxing. Obviously, he still has all the titles, and he's still selling out those arenas and making stuff happen.
Hmm. Do you? I'm going to go down that rankings list. David Benavidez is next. I know David's kind of been number one in the line per se to kind of knock down the door for Canelo. Do you think that Benavidez beats Canelo if they were to fight?
Uh, I think, yeah, I think he could. Just for the simple fact that his punch output, and he could take a punch. So with his conditioning, his punch output, he got good defense, and if he could take Canelo shots, I feel like he'll breathe. He could possibly breeze through Canelo just
Hmm.
off that, because Canelo right now he's not that guy where he was like 5 6 years ago when he was throwing combinations. Canelo's a guy now that he just loads up on one punch and tries to like knock you out or break your arms down or something.
Hmm.
Fake and shoot a hook or fake shoot a right hand. Like he throws one or two punches. And this guy Benavidez is like he's letting his hands fly. So I think it'll be a good fight. Just I feel like if Benavidez don't let the moment get to him, a lot of guys get in front of Canelo and it's like, oh shit, I'm in front of this dude. And, they feel his presence and it's like they don't fight the way they're supposed to be fighting. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's different.
Do you
Just like
also
Jamal, who was the one that just fought him? I forget their names. Jamal,
Little
Jamal.
Jamal?
Yeah, Jamal. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked amazing on his fights. As soon as he gets in the ring with Canelo, that dude's like running circles around the ring. I'm like, what? Like,
Hmm.
even though he's a younger guy, but go out there on your shield, dude. Like, you made yourself look like a fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? And you undisputed champion at 154. Like, I don't give a fuck if you smaller. You took the fight. You wanted to go up to 168, so you wanted to prove a point. You can't go up there and bitch out. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And do you perhaps feel that you need to beat a Canelo opponent like a Caleb Plant or a John Ryder in order to really put yourself up there in the pecking order as well too? Is that the plan for 2024? Maybe a Caleb Plant fight as well?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, listen, I'm open. Like after this fight, bro. Like once I dominate this dude, I'm open on to just taking one of those fights. You got Gabe Rosado too. That's another, fight that, what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he got a couple losses, but he has a lot of experience. And he's been calling me out, calling me out, calling me out, calling me out. So I'm like, damn, that'll be a dope fight. Like I see he's talking shit and he got the people on social media like really believe in him. Like, oh, you could take this young guy out, fight that young guy, you could take him out. So I'm like, damn, that'll be a good fight as well, like a Rosado, like a John Ryder, Caleb Plant, like those type of guys to get to that fight. But hey, right now how boxing is looking, how the 168 division is looking, and how Canelo's moving, you know, don't be surprised, after this fight, we can possibly make something happen.
Hmm. I know one other fighter who's a undefeated upstart, just like you on the younger side, Diego Pacheco. He has a
Yeah.
lot to say about you. It seems like he has his eyesight set on you as a potential future fight. What do you think about Diego? Is that something where we can see down the line a fight against you two, or do you feel like you guys are pretty much equal level fighters and you need to kind of beat some of the similar opponents before fighting each other?
Yeah, I feel like we could marinate that fight, for it to become something big. But for me, I'm knocking him out. Like I'm knocking him the fuck out. That kid, I'm knocking him out for a fact.
Mhm.
I swear to God, like I'm knocking him the fuck out. Like I'm knocking him out. I'm putting him out. And like I said, like he could talk all that shit he want, this, that. Like he fought his last fight. The dude he fought, I tore my bicep in the third round. You know what I'm saying? And that dude was beating his ass the whole fight until he just stopped. And that dude quit. You know what I'm saying? In the ninth or 10th round or something like that, or the ninth round. But I'm knocking that kid out. He be talking mad shit. I think he's an all right fighter. I don't think he's nothing special. I think he's basic. I just feel like, that fight gotta marinate. I feel like he's not a business kid. Like he'll take a fight for $50,000. Like that's the type of fight like guy he is. He don't know boxing. Like you gotta marinate a fight between me and him. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like this boxing stuff ain't something that we doing 15, 20 years. You get what I'm saying? You'd be lucky if you could do boxing for 20 years as a professional. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's about making the right fights at the right moment. You know what I'm saying? And for that bag, you know.
Mhm. Do you feel like you're the best Puerto Rican fighter right now in the world? I know Amanda Serrano is there on the women's side, but on the men's side, do you feel like you're the best Puerto Rican fighter in the world?
Nah, I don't feel like I'm the best. I think, I got my bros, man. You got Xander Zayas, you got Suriel Matias, 140. You got the other champion, Rodriguez. I forgot his first name. You got the Bomba too. He fights like at 115 or something. So like you got guys that like are really putting on for the island. I wouldn't put myself and say I'm the best because I haven't done shit in the sport, to be considered the best. If I had all the titles and became undisputed at 168 and I'm dominating the game, then I feel like I could, tell everybody like I'm the best Puerto Rican fighter. But right now, I feel like nah, I'm not.
Well, you're definitely among the group who is going for that title.
Yeah.
You're definitely right there in front of the pack.
The best
Uh,
the best fighter right now, in all reality, is Amanda Serrano.
mhm.
Even though she's a woman, but you gotta put her in that mix with us because she's fighting
Yeah.
12 rounds, 3 minutes. So when it's all said and done, she's the one that's like really doing it for the island. She's undisputed. She's selling out arenas. She's about to fight at the Choliseo in Puerto Rico that fits 20,000 people.
Mhm.
She's selling that out. So you gotta take your hat off to that girl. And that's my sister too. We come from the same hood from Brooklyn.
Absolutely. I know you guys have a close relationship, but I guess since we're talking about fighters, who do you think is the best fighter in the sport right now? The pound for pound number one fighter. There's a lot of debate about
Oof.
that. Who's your opinion?
Um,
Who is it in your
Number
opinion?
one, I think I gotta give it to Crawford. Crawford, two-time undisputed. It's crazy, in two different weight classes. But I think he's the number one guy right now.
Hmm. I mean,
You know,
he wants to come up and fight the big boys with you. 168
yeah,
pounds. He
yeah,
wants
nah,
to
nah, he
fight
crazy.
Canelo.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you make?
Nah, nah,
What
he
do you
ain't,
make about that? Him joining
nah,
your
yeah, he ain't
division.
doing that shit. Yeah, he ain't doing that. I don't know. He ain't doing that. That's
You
all
think?
talk. He could, like, I'm not saying he can't, like, he could do it. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. But I don't think he's that dumb to move up to 168. Like he ain't gonna do that. You know
But
what I'm
for a
saying?
Canelo fight, I mean,
If anything, he should just move up to 54 and try to beat Jamel. You know what I'm saying? For
mhm,
all the titles at 154, or if he still has all the titles at 154, because I think this dude got the title now, right? The WBO something.
yeah. Well, let's talk about that. You're a 168-pound fighter. If someone from 147 is going to move up to face 100, what is that? What is that like? Explain what the fans can expect. I'm sure you've sparred smaller guys. What is that like?
Yeah, yeah. Um, it'll be funny, it's dependent too. Like, shit, if it's like a no name that wants to come out, nah, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it's a guy that, if I'm, become world champ at 168, and next year or this year, say, I got 147, like, yo, bro, what's up? Like, let's make it happen. Like, and he got a name, and he gets a ticket seller, and he wants to do it. And he's like, yo, I want to go up to 168 fight. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Money talk, man.
Yeah,
So, but I won't do it if I won't do it if like the guy is like a no name. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no
yeah.
point.
Well, I'll leave you with this, Edgar. I know you're getting ready for a workout as you train for your February 24th fight. February 24th fight against Patrick McClory. What can fans expect from you in your return in 2024? Your last
Um,
prediction and
get your
promise.
popcorn ready. My last fight was like very entertaining. I had everybody in the Hulu theater going crazy, especially that 12th round when I cracked them, and they should have stopped the fight in the 12th round too. I felt like, but yeah, man, they like always, man, just fireworks. Especially now that I'm in Puerto Rico. I mean, I'm in look at that, I said Puerto Rico. I'm in Orlando. That's my backyard, man. That's like, people don't know that Orlando, Kissimmee's like it's like considered little Puerto Rico now.
Mhm.
So that place is gonna be full of Puerto Ricans. All my fans, all the flags is gonna be out. So I know I gotta just like really put on a show, man, for those people. Like Puerto Ricans, they love fighting. You know, and if you look at I look at us like they look at us like like the cockfights. Like with and it's famous in Puerto Rico. You got the chickens, the roosters when they fight each other. And they bet big money on that. So like I feel like we the Roosters, man, and I'm one of the Roosters that represent Puerto Rico, and we gotta go out there and perform.
Well, we're all looking forward to seeing what 2024 and beyond looks like for you, Edgar. Good luck throughout the rest of training camp, and looking forward to seeing how everything develops for you moving forward.